Welcome to this presentation on Greenhead, one of the most interesting historical towns in Australia. It's claimed by some to be some of the country's best preserved 19th century towns. It's famous for the leaning tree on the Brand Highway, which is a river gum that's caused to lean by the very strong southerly winds. The area is very popular with artists. And some of their presentations can be found on the net. The area is located on the fertile alluvial flats of the Moore River. Originally explored by George Gray in 1939, he named the area after Sir George Bellis Greenhead and claimed that it would become the granary of Western Australia. The area was first settled in 1852 and within a few years rapidly developed into a highly successful wheat growing area. The Hampton Arms Hotel was constructed in 1863 and like many buildings in the area was built of limestone. It was to serve an area of over 1,000 wheat farmers. Greenhead is located 24 kilometers south of Geraldton and 400 kilometers north of Perth in Western Australia on the Brand Highway. Here I am, Don, demonstrating the location. It is about 5 kilometers from the mouth of the Moore River. Greenhead became a ghost town in the 1870s and 80s due to a cyclone, flooding of the river, and wheat rust. Many farmers moved out to the gold rush. It's now taken over by the Historic Trust and is open from 9 to 5 every day. By 1900, the town was left to fall into disrepair, and it was only during the 1980s that a considered effort was made to reconstruct it. Originally, the Greenhead store, built in 1886, it fell into disrepair in the 1960s. It was rebuilt in 1975, and with the National Trust, now houses a very nice shop and interpretive center. It's filled with information, but Mark and I really appreciated the coffee shop with its nice cappuccinos. Greenhead served the surrounding community with churches, courts, and local civic administration. Transport in early days was difficult. Early roads were poor. Some early photographs of Greenhead. Greenhead's churches are still used today. Here's St. Peter's, the Catholic Church, built in 1908. Unfortunately, most of the buildings do not have wheelchair access. The Catholic Church was supported by a convent of nuns. St. Catherine's Church was the second Anglican church built in central Greenhead and was the first one to be constructed from iron and timber shipped from England. St. Catherine's Church replaced the first church in 1913 and is still used in regular worship. The Central Greenhead School was built in 1865 by William Trigg and also serves as the Greenhead Community Hall and the Anglican place of worship. 10 years later, in 1875, there were 6 schools in the region. Greenhead cottages. An earthy barn. More cottages with well. Stables. The police station and goal. 1870 saw the construction of the police station. The goal was used as a temporary housing of prisoners before being transferred north to Geraldton with 4 cells. The visiting doctor's room and beds in the visiting doctor's room. St. Catherine's Hall has wheelchair access and a very large interpretive centre with information on social life in the region. St. Catherine's Hall was constructed in 1893 and had some interesting presentations. There's even quite a good audio-visual presentation with interviews of elderly residents. The interior of a cottage. This might be the presbytery where the local priest was housed for 30 years from about 1900. The main street, if you like. The farming tradition with a very social outhouse. Hey, what can one say? Greenhead is a great place to visit. They've done a wonderful job restoring the place and filling the houses with historic items. Thanks for joining me, Don Pugh, on this quick trip to Greenhead